to sleep. So this is very important. Okay, so when you have sleep time, try to sleep at the same time. Get ready and go to the bed, and that's it. Okay. Usually it takes 20 minutes, um, and sometimes if you're not sleeping, within 20 minutes, get up and do something boring. For example, try to read a boring book which you do not understand. You start getting sleep. Okay, so some activity which is boring and you are not interested, so you go to sleep. And another thing, very often people try to take nap in the, of course, when you are at teaching job, you can take a nap, but on weekends or holidays, you try to take a afternoon nap. So don't take that. So even though you may be feeling sleepy at that particular time, avoid that. And and few more things. Use the bed for the sleep only. Do not sit in the bed and take your laptop or cell phone or watch movie um, on the TV, um, because don't keep TV in your bedroom as much as possible. Okay, so if you, and particularly don't put these TVs, uh, iPads, or cell phones in your kids' rooms. Completely, they should not have any kind of a screen in their rooms. And you can have, but don't use it unless you want to use in the daytime. So that's very important, so that you know that when you are going to bed, you are going to sleep in bed. All right. And another important thing, do not exercise at least 4 hours before bedtime. This is very important. Why I'm saying that? Because what happens is when you do exercise, there are hormones like epinephrine, norepinephrine, which are secreted, and your heart starts beating up. And these hormones, once secreted, it takes time to come down. So that's very important. So if you have those hormones still circulating in your blood, it takes more than 4 hours to clean up from your body. And sleep rituals, I have mentioned in here. Sleep rituals means, you know, it's rituals. For example, we celebrate Eid or any festival. Non-Muslims are celebrating any festivals. We do it so particularly. It's a ritual. That means uh, we will try to, do that on proper date and proper time. Marriage. Particularly, I like our Hindu marriages there, and they have all that, dates and even exact time they start that. So that's what you have to develop. Develop sleep rituals, and do not drink coffee or tea, nicotine, alcohol, at least 4 to 6 hours before bedtime. Caffeine, very often caffeine, you don't know. Sometimes you have headache, and you feel that I have headache, and I'm kind of I want to um, take some painkiller, and make sure that analgesic what you have is let me not get myself. I want to do this. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So Um, ca- so look at those analgesics or painkiller for the headache you are taking. Look at their content, and in there may be caffeine. And once you take those tablets, um, your sleep will be gone. Headache will you don't have headache, but sleep will be gone. Why? Because that caffeine is there, and that caffeine does not get cleared from the blood at least 4 to 6 hours. So it is very important. And nicotine, of course, is smoking or tobacco chewing. And first of all, um, nobody has to smoke or chew tobacco. It's it's a suicidal. It's a long-acting suicide. Basically, the person is killing and reducing the life every day. It may not be in days, months, or years, but eventually it will be in longer time. Suppose he's living for 90 years, he will die in 80s or 70s or maybe early when lung cancer. I have seen, I diagnosed every day lung cancers in 40-year-old, 50-year-old. So this is very important. And it also deprives you of sleep, nicotine. Remember that. Alcohol puts you sleep early. I know Muslims don't drink alcohol, but other religions they do not prevent that. So be careful, those who are drinking alcohol. If you drink alcohol, um, it will make you sleep early, but you get up around 3 o'clock. And once you get up 3 o'clock, I will show you what happens in the sleep REM sleep. I will show you the graph. So why it is very important. In night you should not drink alcohol. Okay, not caffeine, nicotine, or anything. Okay. Um, I have already mentioned about use your bed for sleeping time, and important thing. Have a light snack before bed, and particularly milk. Milk is very important. It has tryptophan. You can see here I have marked with red. So it is a sleep inducer. That means it puts you to sleep. Um, that's that's the reason. If suppose you are not getting naturally the uh, sleep, then try a warm glass of milk. That may help. Or another thing which could help you. Um, I want to in Indian marriages in movies they show um, the bride gives groom uh, hot milk, glass of milk. So poor guy, he's going to go to sleep. So don't give milk if it's your honeymoon day. So uh, take a hot bath, which is also, you know, uh, relax your um, muscles and relaxes your brain, and it is also a good sleep inducer. Um, and very often people, um, you know, some people can sleep in even kids are making noise, or there is something, the traffic noise or anything, they will sleep. But there are other people who cannot sleep, so try to keep it quiet, and 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 keep the window open so that in the morning the sunlight falls on you, or at least some brightness come in. Don't take out the curtain, but keep the curtain. So that also, um, you know, clicks your um, sleep sleep time when it is night, dark, and when it is daylight, you get up. So those are the few hints. So the most important thing is REM. Does anybody know what is REM? I'm asking a question.
Um,
What is REM sleep? Did anybody?
This rapid eye movement. The last day you explained this about this stuff, sir.
Oh, I did. Okay, so
Yeah,
so nobody remembers that. That's good. To keep asking question otherwise I may be
yeah.
putting putting this. Yeah,
Many are messaging
good, good, excellent,
rapid eye
excellent,
movement.
very good. So REM sleep is very important, and this REM sleep occurs in a night about 4 to 5 years, and this sleep time when I'm talking about in the night is 8 to 9 hours sleep time. This is the time, uh, adolescents 9 hours. The more younger the students are, longer the sleep time. The newborns sleep all the time unless they are hungry or they they have to change. You have to change pamper or something. So that's the thing. 8 to 9 hours. During 8 to 9 hours uh, sleep, there are 4 to 5 REM sleeps. I'm going to show the graph. Okay, and these REM sleeps uh, increase in duration at the end. That means near the wake up time, they increase. As you said, that rapid movement. You could see here the picture. Actually, this person is sleeping, but you can see, oh, but you can see the pupil. Pupil are right here. You know, the okay. See how she moved? So inside the closed eyelid, they are sleeping, they move their eyeballs. So this is called rapid eye movement sleep, okay? REM sleep. And why it is important? The when the rapid eye movement starts, brain is thinking more and more, and so there is some brain activity which has increased, and along with that, the heart rate increases, respiratory rate increases. You breathe more, your heartbeat is more, and but sensory and motor activities are totally gone. So during that sleep, their activities go down, and uh, the brain activity sometimes it becomes more, sometimes it becomes less, but quite active. Okay, during this time, the memory consolidation occurs. This is very important. Memory consolidation. What is memory consolidation? Whatever you did in the day, which you have to remember, you will start recollecting, and that those recollected to be remembered uh, learnings or knowledge goes into long-term memory. It's very important. So the consolidation occurs. So people who use, do not have the opportunity of REM sleep, you can imagine what is their learning capacity, how much they can remember. So this is very important. Now I will show you. It goes up to 8 to 9 hours here. Okay, I will take off my picture here. Okay. All right. So the orange stuff here, actually, this is the wave, sleeping waves. Okay, this is deep sleep, and this is REM is more like a superficial sleep. Okay, so what happens in this in the early phase of the REM, the duration is small, whereas as it increases, let me get my note. All right. So as it, you know, once you will have about 15 minutes, for example, and then you go into deeper sleep and come back. Okay, you come back, and as you see here, let me oh, I don't know what's happening, but I'm not getting my spotlight. Oh, it's stopped right there. Okay. I think there's some problem. Okay. You can see here that it has increased in duration. And look at this, how long it is. Almost it is 1 hour. And here it is 1.5 hours. So the later part of the sleep will have more REM sleep. And more the REM sleep is better your consolidation of the knowledge. That means the more you sleep in the later part of the early morning is better for you. So very often we sleep late, wake up early at 6 o'clock. You are missing this good sleep, which actually sends all the information into long-term memory. So and this is the time when you see very often um, you know uh, good dreams or dreams for longer time. So morning dreams are for longer time, and you could remember these dreams. So this is a REM sleep. So don't miss this, the late early morning sleep, because this is the one which give consolidation. You can see here, this is when person is awake. Yeah, most of the part is little bit, active. Red, orange is the active part, whereas in REM sleep, you know, this is occipital lobe. This is interesting too. Occipital lobe is visual, is for visualization. So actually, you're seeing in the dream. Okay, you visualize your student answering something wrong, or you are in a exam hall and giving an exam. So this is actually you are visualizing. So occipital lobe get uh, lighted up here. So the neurons in the occipital lobe, connections in the occipital lobe, lighted up. And not only that, but you are hearing. This is the auditory area where you're listening. And this is frontal lobe where there is some activity. You are thinking something. Where I have found out that very often I do not get a diagnosis of some. Um, I know the symptoms. I know that I'm trying to correlate my memory. Have I ever come across this kind of a disease? I'm not getting it, but all of a sudden in the morning I get it. And why? Because your frontal lobe is active. So that is very important. So frontal lobe activity uh, uh, is, uh, is it, the new ideas come to you. So this is very important. And there are different types of sleeps. They are named alpha, beta, delta, and theta. Delta, third phase and fourth phase, and theta, which is the REM sleep. It's right here. Okay? So good. Now, I want you to pay attention to um, Dr. Judy Willis. I'm a great fan of hers. Look at her. I am BSc, BEd, MD, but she's MD, MEd, Master of Education. She was a neurologist, and she gave up. She practiced for 10 years and went back to education college and finished her master's, and now she is an elementary school teacher. This is called passion. Please, those teachers who are there for just for making money, please, this is not your job. You should enjoy what you're doing. You know, what I'm presenting now is up to date. You know, some of these stuff I get like magazines like this. I get a lot of magazines. I study. Why? I'm a medical doctor. Why I should study about education? Because I have a passion. This is internal motivation. When you have internal motivation as a teacher, forget it. This becomes your hobby. You feel enjoy when you teach a kid, and that kid, you know, is far ahead what you are thinking. You will be pleased. You made a difference in that kid. So that is very important. Judy Willis, she has written books on, again, neuroscience, and particularly on adolescent. She has worked a lot, and she's a great. And there are only few physicians who have the degree of education, and I'm one of them, but she is the best. Okay. So, okay. She has, uh, even written some articles on teaching profession and importance of sleep. Why teachers need sleep? Uh, you know, because when they are in the classroom or when they are with the students, they think clearly. When 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 you are deprived of sleep, you miss the late REM sleep, and you are already tired, sleepy, and coming to the classroom, and your mind is kind of cloudy, and brain is not working properly, and it does not react quickly. So what the sleep does is makes you think clearly and react quickly. A kid, you have in your classroom, there is not just one kid. There are at least 20 kids. According to one teacher should have at least 20 kids. You know, not more. If you have like 22 kids or more than 22 students, then you have to have a teacher aide. I know in India it is like 40 kids. I'm sorry, that's the business. So they want to make more money. The school wants to make more money. The management wants to make more money. They put more students in the classroom. But that's I gave you one hint. How many it is in United States. This is what the criteria is: 20 to 22. Okay. So well, so one kid may be asking one type of question, the other kid may be asking another type of question. Then you have to be very active and very interactive and quickly respond to that. Otherwise, they get bored. They may not pay attention. So you gave them 4 kids, you gave them a project. Another 4 students, you gave another project, and they may ask you. You are just like a helper there, and so quickly you have to go from one group to the other group and respond. Okay? So basically, inadequate sleep results in irritability. You become more irritable, forgetful. Um, when you are teaching something, something doesn't click. You forgot the term. What is that word? It doesn't come to your mind. And then you become anxious. The more anxiety you will have, more forgetfulness. The second term, that's the second word which you want to use, you will forget that too. So this is very important. See, as a good night's sleep makes such a big difference. You go and have 8 to 9 hours sleep and come back to the classroom, your performance will be totally different than a teacher who doesn't have a sleep and come to the classroom. So nowadays, as I mentioned, in United States, you know, the the teachers are on an average sleeping 6 hours. So um, what I am telling you, what information I'm giving you far ahead of even American education system. This is most latest information I'm giving you. So remember this, you are learning from a person who is very up to date in this information. So 6 hour per night. So what are they doing? Same thing, homework, planning for the next day lesson. There is not one lesson. You have 4 or 5 classes to prepare for all those lessons. It takes time. So now in United States, already curriculum textbooks come with the lesson plans. When you when you write a lesson plan, it should be written for 40 minutes. You cannot make a lesson plan and finish it in 40 minutes, 80 minutes lesson plan and finish it in 40 minutes. You have to actually practice it. See whether you could finish that um, mathematics lesson or English lesson in that allotted time, or a science project you want to do in that allotted time. You have to do by yourself and come up with the lesson. So this research has already been done, and there are a lot of textbooks and publishers which provide you all ready-made lesson plans, so that you don't have to worry about that. You have teachers book as a separate and students book as a separate. So I hope you are enjoying. Nobody is sleeping, I hope. I know you did sahur and would like to go to sleep. I woke you up early. So, but let's see. Um, as I mentioned, later our sleep, especially between the 6th and 8th hour, which is this REM sleep here, right here. See that? If you miss that sleep, you will not be fresh. Whatever you learned, because you have to teach tomorrow too. So you have to refresh, and you may not be able to recollect. Okay. Okay. So then, okay. And another thing which happens, I, I mentioned about neurotransmitter substance like acetylcholine, dopamine, and other things. And these neurotransmitter substances are secreted throughout the day. So they should be refurbished. So, so they should be, filled out again in their vesicles from where they are released. So it takes time. So again, the the longer the sleep, the better the refurbishing of those, um, you know, um, neurotransmitter substances, and and the growth of the memory connections. Okay, so now during the day, you have to take moment to moment decision. As I said, you have to be very attentive with each students. Look at that you may ask question and that person may give answer wrong, and maybe his part of the answer is right and part of the answer is wrong, and the other person completely wrong. How you are going to uh, explain to those kids? So you have to be very attentive moment to moment, and you have to decide how you are going to prioritize the information and let him. And you have to understand that how much knowledge the student also has in the past. So you have to know that too. So one, so as the I think I have shown you the graph that during sleep you come up with creativity too, particularly in that late REM sleep, early morning sleep. In that, you kind of um, all of a sudden, there was a question, you were not able to get the answer, or a problem which you were trying to solve, all of a sudden it comes to your mind. Why? Because your neurotransmitter substances are ready to shoot, and new connections are in, you know are there, and all of a sudden you get a new idea. And since I'm a poet, sometimes, two times I get new ideas in my poetic lines. I'm trying to write a poem, and a couple of lines I want. I'm not getting rhyme word. Um, what rhyme word should I be having? So two times I get those ideas quickly. One, when I wake up early in the morning and think about that poem, and the other time when I'm doing exercise or I'm on treadmill. Why? Because at that time the heart is beating and blood is circulating with your brain, and the brain gets more oxygen, and it works better. And here in the morning, or sometimes early during the sleep, you can think about, you want to write a poem. So new ideas get to you, because at that time everything is quiet, and your brain is kind of in a in a in a in a kind of a quieter mood, and you get the ideas. So important things: early to bed and little bit late to rise. I won't say early to rise. So um, completing 8 hours, minimum 8 hours. 9 hours is the best. Don't sleep more, because it's going to hurt you. It will have bad effects. More sleep will have bad effects. So important. Okay. Uh, Wake up with solution to problems, as I mentioned. Okay. Have good night's sleep, increasing sleep time. Listen to this. From 6 to 8 hours, those teachers who are sleeping for 6 hours, and now they are sleeping 8 hours, their performance in memory improved by 25%. You were working at only 75%. So now you are working better, 25%. So this is a really significant change you can see in your performance, in your activity in the classroom, your alertness. You will enjoy basically while you are teaching the students, and that comes with a good sleep. It also restores emotional calm. You know, you will be calm, alert, reflective, um, quick to respond, and of course your job become very efficient. If somebody is watching um, on video camera, your management, administration, or whoever, uh, for the B.Ed and M.Ed students, your inspector is watching, and you are performing excellent because you had a good sleep. And I always tell, before going to exam or before going to the classroom, you should have good sleep. In one night, you cannot finish all the syllabus or curriculum. So make sure that you have good sleep. Okay. Another tip for good night's sleep is, as I said, make it a ritual. Cultivate that habit to go to sleep at that time and get up, and make sure your children also do the same thing. If teacher is giving a lot of homework, tell her that, let the kids do that work in the classroom. And I totally, I do not like giving homework. I'm against homework. Am I at? Do I have still some time? I want to finish this sleep um, today, and then I can start another topic tomorrow. So, so That's important. Exercise. While sleeping, do light stretches, okay, in the bedroom, or light yogas. Um, don't do vigorous exercise, sit ups, or even in yoga, there are some exertive exercises. I think for Muslims, Isha Salah is the best one because there are 17 rakah if you pray all the rakah. Otherwise, most of us pray only 9 rakah, 5 rakah, only 9 rakahs. That's all we do there. So that will be also nice. And get up early and go out. And before going to having breakfast, just have a walk, stretch, and come back, and have your breakfast and come to school. So that's another thing, and make it regularly. So it is very important. Okay. So now some precautions.
Dr. Saab, can we continue tomorrow? We will start the Q&A session. It is almost
Okay,
9:45.
just hang on.
Participants
Uh, all right.
have few more questions.
Okay, you have questions?
Yeah, they are asking questions here,
Okay,
and it
all right.
is 9:45. Shall we start the Q&A session?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, Dr. Saab, thank you. Uh, can we have tea 4 to 6 hours before going to bed?
E,
Tea, yeah.
well, it again, I think when you take tea, of course, definitely caffeine, but I think that there are people who, when they take tea, they don't go to sleep. So they avoid in the night tea also. Tea also has some chemicals which will keep you awake. So don't please don't. And if you want to take tea, take tea 4 hours before.
That's okay, fine. If someone is addicted to milk tea, what should they do to leave it?
Addictive to what?
Tea, milk tea, I think.
Oh, uh,
Just,
tea and coffee are. You are right. I mean, there are two ways. People have done it cold turkey. Cold turkey means suddenly stop and come out of the smoking and caffeine and everything. But there are some who reduce gradually. They reduce it until they come out of it. And the best time, particularly for Muslims, is the Ramadan time when you are fasting, because you don't see, as soon as you break the fast, first thing you are craving for the tea. Don't take it. See what happens. Okay, delay taking it, and so gradually you can. There are two ways. One suddenly, the other one is gradually. Okay.
fine. What is the right time to get up from sleep? Normally, we say get up for Fajr and after prayer start reading.
So Fajr is in India is around 6 o'clock.
Yeah, now it is 4:45.
Fajr is at 4:45.
Yes.
That's the your suhoor, you know, finishes at 4:45,
In
is it?
here, where it
Uh,
is
okay.
5 o'clock,
So,
nearly around 5.
well. So then Fajr 4:45. What you do is you do your suhoor and go to then pray Fajr Salah and try to sleep. And I know that now it's lockdown time, so you have enough time to sleep. So try to finish, or go early to bed, like 9 o'clock, and give 8 hours. Okay?
How is dream associated with sleep? I think
How is dream? I told you the dreams are seen in REM sleep. REM sleep doesn't put you in a distress. Okay, REM sleep is part of sleep, so still you will be fresh. You and The only difference is you are seeing some dreams, okay, but you are asleep, uh, and and this is the best time for your memory, REM sleep, which is late morning. I mean, not late morning, early morning sleep, and the duration is more, and whatever you learn will it's like a hard disk. It writes in the hard, whatever you did previously, which has to be kept in the memory, it goes and write up in the hard disk. So this is the best time, sleep. Okay?
If we get up at the Hajj for namaz prayer praying, we are sleepy. Then how to control it?
I know sometimes you are in sujud and you went to sleep in there. So that happens. That's a natural thing, I mean, uh, do as early as, and tahajjud is not compulsory, obligatory. But on the other hand, the life of, I'm not saying that don't pray tahajjud, but the students, the biggest job, the prophetic job, is your teaching. You are a teacher. This is our prophet's, you know, profession. So that is even better than a sunnah. So inshallah, if you want to do it quickly and go to sleep. Okay? But very often what happens is once you got up, then you may not get back to sleep. That's another problem. So your circadian cycle will change. Okay. Next.
Yeah, history classes will make students sleep. Even I experienced that. How to make students overcome that
History, you said?
classes.
Oh,
While taking history subject, usually
uh-huh.
people tends to sleep.
Actually, it is contrary to, those classes. Usually, history is like a story. So it all depends on teacher. How, I used to love the history classes because one, I remember in seventh grade, that's the only class I liked because the history teacher was a good teacher, and he used to tell in such a way that it was like a story. The only thing which I couldn't remember, uh, you know, there's so many battles. What year was that battle and what date, and those were difficult to remember. But as a whole, the story, students love a story, and you can dramatize those stories. And there are different ways to teach history. So you have to learn these new techniques. History is a very interesting subject, and somebody who is good in history is a good orator too. You can quote the history. So it all depends. So you can make certain changes in your teaching style. Next.
Is it the quality of sleep or just number of hours of sleep important?
When you are sleeping, you are getting the quality of sleep. In that, there are, I showed you 4 stages. The most superficial is REM sleep, isn't it? So it comes in cycles, and the REM cycle at the end becomes the longer. So that's the way. And once you got up in between, like an alcoholic who slept early, 8 o'clock, he drank alcohol and he went to sleep. Now he wakes up at 3 o'clock. His REM sleep is gone because the duration of sleep is less. So he will be awake, or he will have headache. He feel tired and he can't go to the job. So the job will also be affected. Okay, next.
Yeah, how to cure popping thoughts during sleep. And every day I wake with headache and how to resolve that.
Okay. What is the first part of the question?
How to cure popping thoughts during sleep.
Oh, popping thoughts.
Yeah, thoughts
Oh, okay. Well,
during
this
sleep.
is right. I know that. Because you are, everything is silent, quiet, and now when you have some kind of problem going on, uh, at your job or at your, at home, those things you start recollecting at that time. So that is a little bit problematic. And once you try to focus on something you did good, for example, you connected to the students so good in the classroom that they were enjoying and kids were smiling and laughing and interacting. Remember those events. They, remember the events which you had best on that day. Don't try to focus on or remember things which has hurt you. So try to adapt, train your brain more towards pleasing episodes which you had in the daytime. Next.
Is there any disease which causes due to using a smartphone before going sleep?
But so far we don't know any disease which is caused by the phone. So you may have all these videos and on social media how it causes brain cancer, this disease and that disease. This is all uh, just junk. It's a pseudoscience, and nobody gives the research study, quote the references of those studies. So they just play with your emotions and they make money because if you see so many times, they make so much money. So don't even look at those and don't forward those. You are committing a crime. So for the but one thing is true, when you are on cell phone and if there is a talk which is particularly teenagers here, and if they have cell phone, they may be, in the bed with the blanket on, but underneath they are talking to their girlfriend, boyfriend, or something. So they pass the sleeping time, and because that conversation is so interesting that sleep time passes away. Same thing happens, you know, when you are watching or texting while you are in bed. So when you are in the bed, don't take your cell phone. No screens in the bed. No iPad. No TV. Nothing. That's why I said. Okay?
Because
Next.
someone says that if we remember something before going to bed, then we will see that in our dreams. Is it true?
This is quite this is because why REM sleep, whatever you did in the day, and a remarkable thing, or you had an experience. For example, you saw an accident, and it's very possible that come in your brain too, because it has gone into the memory, emotional memory, particularly in the limbic system. There is a emotion. There is a almond-shaped structure called amygdala. That is emotion. That stores emotional memories. So that they will read. Is possible. Go ahead.
Dr. Sir, there are a few more questions. Shall I continue or shall I hold it for tomorrow's session?
Do we have time?
Now it is 10 here.
Okay.
Still 4 to 5 questions are there. Shall we hold
Okay.
this for tomorrow?
Yes, that's fine, and thank you very much
Yeah.
because here it is. 2 more minutes. I can give you another couple of questions.
Okay, Dr. Sir. Then. Can learning happens through dreams?
Oh, one good question. People used to think that intelligence is related with genes. Who is intelligent? The one who learned, isn't it? So learning comes not from the genes but environment, surroundings. If I showed you that cardinal, you know, every time you show the new people, not the one who has already seen that picture, the bird, cardinal, and nobody says it is cardinal. They say that, this nightingale, this and that. But nobody says why, because they have not learned. So how did you learn? From your environment, that bird was sitting right in front of you, perching in the tree. So you saw that. So now you recognize it. So it is it is not genetics, but it is learning from. Maybe we are all engineered. Our brain is engineered that to learn. That's it. But how it is going to learn? By looking up with all the five senses. Okay, so that's very important. We learn from our environment. Okay, next.
Sometimes, if we have important meetings on the next day, we couldn't sleep well the whole night. What is the reason for that?
Sometimes we have a
If
meeting
we have
and
any important meetings the following day, we couldn't sleep
oh,
well the
following
whole
day.
night.
Okay. That's again anxiety. And for example, you have an interview next day, and you desperately need that job, and this is normal. It's a normal thing to have such anxiety. But again, you know, try to have good sleep somehow. I told you different techniques. Adopt those techniques, and go to sleep. And believe me, you will be having a successful interview because you are quick in reaction. I told you how the teachers become quick in reaction and ready for sleep. If a question is asked, you don't have to, the answer may come right away because your all neurons are ready to shoot. Your all neurotransmitter substance are all ready to come out, and neuronal connections find out the solution to that problem. So a good sleep is very important. I showed you a graph too. You know, people who had a good sleep, and then people who did not have a good sleep, and their performance-wise, a big difference. And the, the biggest difference was the problem solving. They gave a new problem. Those who did not have sleep did not do very well in that. And those who had sleep, a new problem was given and they did it. And like 35% difference. So this is important. Okay.
Now, if I try to sleep early, I can't sleep. My mind is not allowing me to sleep. What to do?
See, this is because your circadian cycle has changed. So for that, first you try to do some methods. I told you, go and take a warm bath, do some kind of light exercise or yoga, and see what and try to relax yourself completely, and don't think anything. And if that doesn't help, you try with mild, you know, sleep inducers like melatonin, the tablets, and physicians can help you in that. So once you regularize that with those melatonin, you know, medications, and once it is regularized, you can leave it, and you will be, and after that, go to sleep at 9 o'clock. If suppose you started taking melatonin and after that half an hour you went to sleep, take for a week and see how it does, and then stop it, and you go to, because now by now you are accustomed to sleep at 9 o'clock. Your circadian cycle is adjusted to new timing. So that's another way. Any other question?
What can we do if we spot out a student sleeping in classroom? What can we do if we spot out a
Okay.
student?
Okay. See, the problem with they try to be very close to the student. And one thing I have seen in the United States, students, our kids are much closer to the teachers. If anything happens in the in house, they go and tell the teacher. And if parents had a fight tonight, they will tell, and the kid is awake in the night, and he may not be sleeping, and he's because it is quite disturbing to him. So emotionally he's upset, and he may be, because he missed his sleep, he will be sleeping in the classroom. And there are different reasons, like in case of adults, for example college students, they may be doing night jobs or evening jobs. They don't have in my class, actually it used to happen, and there was one medical technology student. She was sleeping right in front of me, and here we cannot humiliate those students and kind of I mean, there is a technique which I always adopted. I just used to tell her name. So she used to wake up quickly, and but I don't put any questions to her. Do not humiliate. Just make. But again, she goes to sleep. What can I do? I mean, she did not have enough sleep. 4 hours probably it's not enough. So we can't help in those instances unless that she quits the job. Then one time I took her on the side and asked her why she's sleeping. So she said that she does the night job because she was a single mother. She has to earn money, and she is spending money in fees and all this. So there may be reasons. You try to find out reasons and try to solve those. Any other
Yes,
questions?
Dr. Saab, maybe we can hold on. It was nearing 12:30 for you, right? Inshallah, we will hold
Okay.
on the remaining questions for tomorrow's session.
Okay, inshallah.
Already we had
Thank you very
taken much
much.
time, and thank you for that.
Yeah, and one more thing, here today was a Mother's Day, so for all those women, who are mothers, happy Mother's Day. I know this is not a religious, um, celebration, but um, you do a lot of work, being a teacher and taking care of children, taking care of husbands. So happy Mother's Day. Thank you very much. I
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
Dr. Saab. Thank you, team. Inshallah, we will hold the questions for the tomorrow's session. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.